Yo, what's up, guys? We're back. This is MMA Prediction Guru here again for another best bets video for odds.com, Odds HQ, the YouTube channel you're at right now. Make sure to check out the website, though, odds.com. They got all the sports rolling now. They got a bunch of real cool tools there for gamblers to make money, and it's definitely worthwhile to go check out the articles, check everything they got going on there. So definitely give that a look. But we're going to jump right into the best bets video here for Bellator 243. And I'm going to give you guys a parlay right off the bat, which is going to be Curtis Melendez and Michael Chandler. That parlay, I think you're going to get 80% return, which is pretty good for that parlay. I believe it's definitely going to hit. That's going to be my play for this card. Melendez versus Homasy. We got two former UFC guys going at it there. Curtis Melendez, he has been in the UFC more recently. Homasy, he was in the UFC, I believe, 2015, 2016. Jumped around a little bit, been in a few promotions, been in Bellator. His last performance in Bellator was very good. He got that 17-second knockout. But Sabah Homasy, you know what you're going to get from him, man. He's not a super skilled guy on the feet, but throws hard, is durable, is willing to brawl, and hits really hard in that first round. Very explosive, very dangerous. So a guy like Curtis Melendez, who's a tall guy who pulls back with his chin high a little bit sometimes, doesn't have the greatest defense backing up, has to be very careful against him early on. But I believe after he gets his reads, after he starts to get his range, he's going to be able to pick him off, land these long shots, land the knees, land the kicks, land the straight punches. He's going to have a big reach, big size advantage as well. And Homasy has been put out before. He's been knocked out. Melendez is a very precision striker. Homasy, he will go in, try to use some grappling, which is what Curtis Melendez struggles with. But the issue with that is I don't think he is super dangerous with the grappling. I believe that Melendez is going to be good enough to counteract that, even though he's not the greatest either. And I feel that the way that Sabah Homasy sets up his takedowns are very similar all the time. He has very similar entries. I think a guy like Curtis Melendez could eventually read those entries, come up with a knee, throw an uppercut, throw a front kick up the middle, time that, get a knockout victory here. So I just see a lot more path to victory for Curtis Melendez here. I think he could win a decision. I think Melendez could win by KO, TKO. And I just think he's the better fighter here. I mean, we got Sabah Homasy. He's 13-8. He's more of a ballroom brawler with some decent grappling. But I just don't think he has the wrestling to really make Melendez that worried. I don't think he has jiu-jitsu to submit him. He only has one submission. And I just think Melendez is a lot better on the feet. So if he can get out of the way of that first 2.5 minutes, first 2 minutes where Sabah is very dangerous, I think he'll run away with the fight and definitely win. So I'm going to go with Curtis Melendez, the first leg of the parlay there. And the second leg is going to be Michael Chandler. I just don't see much from Benson Henderson that changes my mind that there's going to be another outcome in this rematch here. When you're looking at Benson Henderson's last two fights, he got out by the skin of his teeth, man. I mean, Adam Piccolotti, split decision victory. Miles Jury, I actually believe that he lost that fight, even though it was a unanimous decision victory for him. And the issue with Benson nowadays, very low volume. He doesn't let the shots off as much as he used to. He backs up to the cage a lot, and he likes to try to use kicks, try to stay long, try to counter in with blitzes. The issue with that against Chandler, as we saw in the first fight, Chandler is much physically stronger than him, and he throws a lot harder. He's more explosive. He closes that distance a little bit better. And when Benson tried to get his grappling in there, he tried to work the grappling. Chandler shut that down very easily. Chandler was able to belly-to-belly suplex. Benson Henderson really kind of dominated the grappling, got on top of him, controlled him. Benson did have some success later on in the fight, in the fourth and the fifth round. Even in the second round, he did better when he went forward. He was countering with that front knee. He was attacking the body, trying to get Chandler tired and then up the volume. But it's just like I said, his volume has been going down and down and throughout his career as he's been aging. And I don't see him somehow picking up the volume, throwing a ton of volume here and winning a decision. So I just think that Michael Chandler is going to be able to back him up to the cage, control the range with the feints, with the fakes, close that distance, land the bigger shots, probably win the grappling exchanges. And I just got to go with Michael Chandler there. He's going to be my other leg of the parlay. I think he's going to win via decision here. This is actually only a 3-round fight, whereas the last fight was 5 rounds, where I think the 5-round fight actually favored Benson Henderson a lot more. If this fight were 5 rounds, you might be able to take a shot on Henderson at those odds. But 3-round fight, I just think that Chandler is the superior guy. I think he'll definitely be able to bang 2 rounds, if not 3, get the victory here. Benson, he's a legend, but he's aging out. I got to go with Michael Chandler here via decision. As far as the other two fights on the main card that we currently have odds for, we have Georgi coming in at plus 175, Jury minus 210. That fight, I'm just going to pass on here because I do believe Jury is the better fighter. He has probably better jiu-jitsu. I don't know if he has better jiu-jitsu, but he's longer if he takes the back, which he's pretty good at, and Georgi kind of gives up his back at times. He could potentially control from there. Jury's just going to have to watch out for the grappling and that overhand of Georgi. If Georgi doesn't land that overhand or if you can't take him down, I think that Jury's going to be able to pick him off, control the range all day, maybe even knock him out. I mean, Jury is pretty technical with his striking. His grappling isn't the worst, but when he does get taken down, he can kind of hang out on his back, and that's Georgi's path to victory here, and the reason why I'm staying away is because I could see Georgi coming in here, getting a takedown, controlling on top in a couple rounds and getting a close decision here, so I would pass at that line. I wouldn't bet on Miles Jury, but he is going to be the pick here for me. I think he should get the win via decision or via TKO here. I just think Jury is a little bit better fighter. He's a little bit fresher. Georgi obviously has been in the game for a long time, so I'm going to go with Miles Jury in this one, but no play for me on that fight. And then finally, Matt Mitrione against Timothy Johnson. That's a fun fight. I'm interested to see that fight. It should be back and forth. I mean, both these guys are kind of old school sloppy heavyweights, but they have some good wins on their record. They're willing to throw down, and Tim Johnson got that huge upset in his last fight. Matt Mitrione, on the other hand, has really struggled lately. I believe he's lost 3 in a row. He hasn't won a fight since February of 2018. Mitrione is also 42 years old at this point. This is another fight where it's a very closely lined. Mitrione's minus 130, Timothy Johnson plus 110. I agree with that. I mean, I don't think you can have a strong lean either way in either direction in this fight. We got Timothy Johnson that's going to be the grappler here, but he has some heavy hands. He closes his distance, throws some big hooks, big overhands. He'll fake the level changes, come over the top. Decent in the clinch with dirty boxing, uppercuts, hooks as well. And we got Matt Mitrione, who's going to be wanting to use the movement and try to stay on the outside, use his footwork, pull counter, hurt Timothy Johnson, throw to the body, and take him out on the feet. I think that Mitrione is going to be very dangerous in the first round for Timothy in terms of taking him out, but Mitrione has to respect Johnson as well. I mean, we saw Johnson in his last fight. A guy who has a similar style to Mitrione on the feet, who likes to move around, who likes to play with the hands down, and has good footwork, good movement for a heavyweight in Tyrell Fortune. And we saw he was able to close that distance, and Johnson knocked him out viciously, man, as a big underdog. So we've seen Johnson be able to close that distance on that type of striker and knock him out. And we've seen Matt Mitrione time and time again throughout his career struggle with grapplers. He can't stop the takedown. Hasn't really gotten better with that throughout his career. Johnson, he is a very legit wrestler. He puts his weight on you, grinds on you against the cage, dirty boxes, takes you down. Mitrione doesn't like that grind either, man. And Timothy Johnson, if he could start to implement that grind and push Mitrione kind of tends to check out and not really fight as hard as he did in the early rounds and the later rounds. So I'm actually going to go with the underdog Timothy Johnson. At plus 110, I need the line to be wider than that. I need to have a little bit more juice, or I mean a little bit more dog money on Johnson here to bet on him. Definitely wouldn't bet on Matt Mitrione. I mean, I wouldn't even bet on Mitrione if he was the underdog. I just think that if you want to bet Tim Johnson, then bet Tim Johnson. He's an underdog. He should get the win, in my opinion. But for me, he's just not trustworthy enough. It's a stay-away fight for me in terms of that one. Sloppy heavyweight fight. Should be a fun fight to watch, but don't have any interest in terms of betting on that one. And so here's the final parlay I'm going to give you guys. It's actually going to be a prop parlay. It's going to be for the fight to go to decision for Benson Henderson and Michael Chandler, and the fight not to go to decision for Curtis Melendez and Sabah Homasy. I just like that parlay. I think it's going to hit as well. Betting that parlay, if you bet $100, you'll get $90 back. I really like that parlay. I think it's definitely going to hit. So just to recap, guys, the two plays that I'm giving you for this card is a parlay with two straight lines of Michael Chandler and Curtis Melendez, and then another parlay with Michael Chandler versus Benson Henderson fight to go to decision, and Curtis Melendez and Sabah Homasy fight not to go to decision. And those are the two plays that I'm going to give you guys for this video. Thanks for watching, guys. Make sure to check out all the other content on the channel, and let's keep making this money, man.